Have you ever really stopped to think about what's happening inside an EpiPen? I mean, it's not just some random shot. It's this precisely engineered counterattack against a total body meltdown. So today, let's really dive into the incredible science of how just one dose of epinephrine can literally pull someone back from the brink during a severe allergic reaction. I mean, what happens when your body's own defense system turns against you? It's a pretty terrifying thought, right? You've got this system, your immune system, that's supposed to protect you, and suddenly it decides something totally harmless, like a peanut, is a mortal enemy. And just like that, it launches an all-out war on your own body. We're not talking about a small problem here. This is a biological process going catastrophically, completely wrong.
And that crisis, that full-on internal war, well, it has a name, and it's the villain of our story today: anaphylaxis.
Okay, so let's be super clear about what we're talking about here. This is not, I repeat, not just a case of the sniffles or a few hives. Anaphylaxis is a crazy fast chain reaction that puts your entire body in danger. It's severe, it's absolutely life-threatening, and it can cause a complete system-wide shutdown.
Yeah, it's a full-blown emergency.
So what makes it so incredibly deadly? Well, it's because anaphylaxis is smart in a terrifying way. It doesn't just go after one thing. Nope, it launches this devastating two-pronged attack on your body's most critical systems all at the same time.
And check this out. This is the breakdown of that two-pronged attack. On one front, you've got vasodilation. Just think of it like this. All the blood vessels in your body suddenly go super wide, like opening a fire hydrant. And what happens? Your blood pressure just tanks. I mean, it plummets catastrophically. And then, at the exact same moment, you've got bronchoconstriction. This is where the airways in your lungs just clamp right shut. So now you can't get blood where it needs to go, and you can't get air into your lungs. It is, quite literally, the perfect storm for a shutdown.
But in the middle of all this chaos, there is a hero. There's one single intervention that can fight this war on two fronts at once.
And that hero's name is epinephrine. Look, this isn't just one option out of many. No way. It is the first-line life-saving intervention. When you're talking about anaphylaxis, this is it. This is the treatment.
But here's the really mind-blowing part, right? How does one single injection manage to reverse a total body meltdown? I mean, how does it know to fix the blood pressure problem and the breathing problem both at the exact same time? It's pretty amazing when you think about it.
Well, the answer is its secret weapon, an incredible triple-action mechanism. Think of epinephrine as a biological master key. It's able to unlock 3 different doors at once to bring everything back from chaos. So let's get into exactly how it pulls this off.
Okay, this chart basically lays out the entire battle plan. You see, epinephrine doesn't just have one job. It targets 3 very specific receptors in the body: alpha-1, beta-2, and beta-1. And hitting each of these triggers a totally different but equally life-saving result. So let's break down these 3 superpowers one by one.
All right, power number 1. Remember that huge problem with vasodilation, where the blood vessels went all wide open and blood pressure crashed? Well, epinephrine hits those alpha-1 receptors, and that causes vasoconstriction. It literally squeezes those blood vessels shut, forcing blood pressure to start climbing back to normal. Boom, problem 1 handled.
Next up, power number 2, which tackles that other huge crisis: breathing. By hitting the beta-2 receptors in the lungs, epinephrine does the exact opposite of what the allergic reaction did. It causes bronchodilation, which is just a fancy way of saying it relaxes and opens up those tight airways so the person can actually breathe again. Okay, problem 2, solved.
And finally, we've got power number 3, which is all about providing critical backup. Epinephrine targets the beta-1 receptors in the heart, essentially supercharging it. It increases the heart rate and how hard it pumps. This makes sure that even while the body's in shock, the heart has the power it needs to pump that newly pressurized blood everywhere it needs to go.
Okay, so right about now you might be thinking, hang on, what about an antihistamine? Like Benadryl? Can't I just take that? And that is such a common question, and honestly, it's a super critical point of confusion we absolutely have to clear up.
This quote really just says it all. Epinephrine is the only medication that can reverse anaphylaxis, not just treat the symptoms. The key word there, the one that changes everything, is reverse. See, antihistamines are helpful for sure, but they don't undo the life-threatening stuff that's already happening. They're more like a supporting actor, not the main hero.
And this chart just makes that difference crystal clear. Epinephrine is the hero. It reverses the life-threatening effects. It physically opens the airways. It physically raises your blood pressure. Antihistamines, on the other hand, are the sidekick. They treat symptoms like the itching or the hives, but they do nothing to fix the core deadly problems, that tanking blood pressure or the airways slamming shut. They're a supportive treatment, sure, but they are absolutely not a substitute.
So let's wrap this up with the key takeaways. What do you absolutely need to remember? 1. Anaphylaxis is that nasty two-pronged attack, vasodilation and bronchoconstriction. 2. Epinephrine is the hero that fights back with that brilliant triple action on the alpha-1, beta-2, and beta-1 receptors. 3, and this is probably the most important part, it is the only drug that actually reverses the life-threatening effects. And finally, number 4, antihistamines just manage symptoms. They are not, and never will be, a substitute.
So the science is crystal clear. We can see how this one remarkable drug works as a swift, decisive countermeasure against a total biological catastrophe. So the final question really isn't about the science anymore. It's about us. Now that we know all this, are we prepared?